Genie is a magic spirit believed to take human form and serve the person who calls it, being able to grant wishes when summoned. We all have Genie inside of us, capable of reaching our full potential and fulfilling our dreams and goals. Most of us are just unaware of this infinite potential we have. Join me, Jackie Carroll, on the journey of finding your Genie and getting to live your best life.
Hi, I'm Patricia Raskin. Welcome to Finding Your Genie, the program that shows you how to reach your goals, manage your emotions, and have the life that you want. I'm here co-hosting with Jackie Carroll, founder of Mind Immersion, a virtual reality platform which helps you step into the best version of yourself. Welcome, Jackie.
Thanks, Patricia. How are you today?
Good. I know that today we're going to talk about using the experience of virtual reality for meditation.
Yes, one of my favorite
And,
topics.
when a lot of us think about virtual reality, the image we have is we put these goggles on and we're going to go somewhere. We're going to watch an action movie or a drama.
Yeah.
We don't think of it as we're going to put these goggles or the headsets on and meditate and then learn from it. So explain how that works. New way of using this.
Well, I suppose it is right in the sense that when you're putting a virtual reality headset on, you are going somewhere in VR. But with meditation and meditation environments, you're going to very tranquil, like environments. So if you can imagine a forest, somewhere that you would never kind of experience, that a lot of people wouldn't go. So you could go into a forest, there'd be a beautiful waterfall, something really, really peaceful that you can connect to nature. So even though you're not actually in nature, it still feels like you're connecting to nature. So you are going somewhere in essence. So with the virtual reality meditation, you can do it with your eyes closed, but a lot of people would like to practice open eye meditation because, yes, they are going somewhere, but it's not quite experiences, like you're not actually doing something. You're just going into a natural environment, like on the beach, in a forest, by a waterfall, by a lake, and you're going to quieten the mind and you're going to actually practice meditation and mindfulness, but in natural environments. So it feels like you're in the natural environment, even though you're not actually there. So that's just the difference.
So when you put the headset on, you will be in the forest
Correct.
or you'll be on the beach. And do you choose that environment?
You can choose the environment that you want to go to. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very important. And it's very important for people to connect with that environment. And I'll give you an example. I love the beach. I love going to the sea. I love going to the beach. However, when I think of the beach, I think of excitement, I think of holidays. So maybe as a meditation environment, that wouldn't suit me as well because my heart would start racing and I'd get really excited. And in meditation, obviously, you want to calm yourself and you want to center yourself. So for me, even though I love water, somewhere like next to a waterfall or next to a babbling brook or a stream or a lake would probably suit me better in terms of meditation. So it's also kind of knowing what excites you and what calms you, which is brilliant. But yes, you can absolutely 100% choose your meditation environment and go into that environment, the one that makes you feel the most at peace and almost connected with yourself and with everything else.
So it gives you that whole immersion sense
Yeah,
that you're there. So that immediately is calming you down.
immediately, yeah.
So how do you work with people? I know that you did an experiment with clients to help them
Yeah.
use this to really increase their performance and increase their energy. Talk about that.
Okay. So when we were creating our well-being as part of the platform, we were like, okay, we're going to create meditation environments. We're going to create visualization experience. Now, the visualization experiences are more kind of actual experiences, like going on, I suppose, stepping into goals already achieved. Whereas the meditation environments are just that you're connecting with nature. So what we did is we put together a prototype version of this product, and we were like, okay, we're gonna create focus groups, and we're going to take those focus groups and we're going to say to them, we want you to use this for 14 days. Now, each meditation was less than 10 minutes. I think the longest one was just over 10 minutes, under 11 minutes. And we said to them, for 14 days, we need you to commit that you have to do a meditation at least once a day. If you can do it twice a day, perfect, like once in the morning, once in the evening, but you have to do it at least once a day, and you have to commit to 14 days. So they were all like, yes, yes, yes. They wanted to have the experience. They wanted to see the technology. They were very new to virtual reality, which was great. So we did that, and we did, I think, 4 separate groups. And I think there was about 20 people in each of them. And we handed out the headsets to them. They kept the headsets for 14 days, and then the trial began. So it was brilliant, because I suppose what we thought was going to happen, we thought everybody was going to come back, because a lot of them work in very high-paced environments, highly stressed jobs. They've got, some of them have got kids, and they're trying to balance their work life, which was, hectic at that stage. Some people were, I suppose, different age groups as well. So we had we had young, we had kind of, in between, and then we had one or two guys that had gone on and that were in the retirement phase, but just felt that they needed a balance in their life. So we thought it was really interesting to take that broad, different groups, different age groups and stuff like that. And we thought everybody was going to come back and they were going to say, oh, I feel so relaxed now, my stress levels are down and I'm feeling amazing. But we got so many, we got that. But what we got from the people who were in high-paced environments was the fact that they were able to focus a lot better, that they had gotten more done in the 14 days than they had in the past 6 months, that they were starting to feel that they weren't reacting to situations. They were rather responding. So it was like they were becoming more mindful of what they were saying and the people around them. It phenomenal feedback from a lot of them. Yeah.
Jackie, did you see this across the board in all ages and stages of the various people?
Yes, we did. We did have one or two people that couldn't quite get used to the technology. So they would have experienced what we call motion sickness. So what a lot of people will experience in virtual reality, but they were more doing the visualization experiences rather than the meditation environments. So the visualization experiences are, if you can imagine, one of them would be like you're going skiing and you're going to this big ski resort, so you're on the move, in the experience. Another one is you're doing a private helicopter tour through Las Vegas. So they kind of felt motion sick. So I had said to them that sometimes people get this when they do suffer quite severely from motion sickness. They might get that, but then they really needed to cut the visualization experiences out and go more into the meditation experiences where you're not moving around. You're sitting in one place and you're centering yourself. But yes.
And could you advise those people ahead of time and say, you might experience this?
We did.
So maybe pick this different situation. Pick pick a forest or a beach where there's not as much motion.
Yeah, that is actually going to be, we learned from that. So one of the warning, when people go to use mind immersion going forward, there is going to be almost like a warning sign, say, if you do experience motion sickness, usually, please be aware that we'll almost like traffic light the different experiences in the different meditation environments. So all the green ones will have no risk of having motion sickness. The orange ones, you could potentially slightly have some sensation, and the red ones, obviously, to avoid if you do suffer, quite bad motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
And, so again, the headsets, because the headsets, people aren't used to putting the headsets on. Some of them were saying, oh, it felt very heavy on my head. But again, the headsets are, as technology improves, and remember the first phone that came out, there was this big, massive
Yes, of
brick.
course.
The headsets are getting smaller, just like the phones are getting smaller and
Yes,
lighter. The headsets are
yes.
going. So the technology is improving. But yes, that was kind of a lot of the other parts of the feedback with regards to the hardware side of it. Yeah.
Let me ask you about the science behind it. When you say that people came back to you and said, I'm more focused,
Mm,
explain what happens in the brain and why that's happening.
okay. So when you are doing open eye meditation, we tell you to focus on a specific spot in your environment with your eyes open. And what it creates is you'll find that people will start noticing that they can't sit still for very long, or their eyes are going to start wandering into certain different parts. But then you just say to them, the reminder is just to bring your focus back into one specific area. And what that's doing is it's teaching your mind to quieten down. So very much how in traditional meditation, they would say you're quietening your mind, you're getting very, very relaxed. You are you're bringing your focus into one specific attention, into one specific area. So what that's training your mind essentially to do is to focus on one specific spot. And this is why people were coming back going, I'm getting so much done, because not only are they centering themselves, but they're teaching themselves how to focus and not let their minds wander. So if you can imagine, people get interrupted by this and get interrupted by that, and they lose focus all the time because there's just so much happening. What this is doing is it's teaching you to focus on one thing, get that one thing done, and then to move on to something else, which is huge.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there's science behind this whole idea of multitasking
Yes.
in terms of that it you're not as productive, and that it's not good for the brain, and it also distracts you, and you just can't get as much done in a focused way. You lose things, even though in our culture multitasking is very common.
Hmm.
So many of us do it. But the problem is that it leads to the bad habits of not focusing as well.
Correct, yeah, because you're doing things instead of focusing on something 100% and doing it, with your 100% effort in that. If you're doing a little bit here and a little bit there, you're never ever going to do it at your within your full potential. It's with anything. So it's where you kind of get the scatterbrain from. And even though they're saying, oh, I'm so amazing, I can multitask at a million different things, but can you multitask where you can do all of the different tasks at 100% of
Mhm.
your performance? And I'd probably say you wouldn't be able to. So it is much better. Women are natural in terms of multitasking, because we have to. But it is brilliant with focusing.
Right. That's true. And it's
Yes.
very much part of the
Yeah.
culture, but true. And
Yes.
that's why we have meditation. Jackie, before you start working with someone with putting the headsets on virtual reality, do you have sessions with them on meditating on your own as a counselor or a coach or a guide before they put the headsets on?
We don't at the moment. What we would do is we work with coaches, Patricia. So a lot of people that would come to us are in personal development who have coaches already. So the coaches would then use our VR software as a tool for their specific programs. So us ourselves, we wouldn't do that. We would just work with the coaches that they can use the specific software, as a tool that can really enhance the coaching and what they're doing in terms of working with their clients.
Right. And some people may need it and some people may not.
Exactly, but exactly like in one of the episodes that when I was talking to Sharon about hypnotherapy, like this is something that we would work, with her. And even with hypnotherapy, you can actually do hypnotherapy in virtual reality now as well. But this is for general sort of hypnotherapy sessions. We would need to work with Sharon to find out exactly, specifically like what her clients need, and then tailor the content around that. But that's kind of what we would do. So us ourselves in mind immersion, we wouldn't work with people specifically with coaching, but we would work with coaches, to basically help their clients. So that's how we work, and we would do it. Yeah.
So, how do people find out about this specific technology? Are they doing meditation? Are coaches telling them? Because not everybody knows about this, particularly for meditation. We know about virtual reality, put headsets on to go on a trip or go somewhere virtually.
Mhm.
So, how are you educating people so that they see what this technology can do for them specifically in the area of meditation?
Well, if people wanted to find out more information, I mean, this is, we're trying to help educate them through what we're doing here. So through the podcasts, our social media, we would have articles, we would have a lot in terms of our blogs and stuff coming out. But again, the coaches themselves would use this material. So they themselves would be educating their clients on the use of this technology. So not a lot of people, it is becoming more mainstream now as virtual reality is coming on, and a lot of people are becoming more and more aware of virtual reality, the metaverse, and kind of the immersive world that is now going to take place down the line. But with regards to meditation, they are like, either people are searching for it or they're going to learn about it, if they come across us on social media, or if their coaches are educating their clients with the stuff that we do as well.
Can you take us through a meditation or the process that someone would go through when they put on the headsets? So, for example, they get into the forest and now they see the forest. And then what happens?
So basically, when the person puts the headset on, they'll go into the forest, they'll go onto the beach if they want to go onto the beach,
Right.
or a babbling brook or a lake or whatever the case is. And they can choose whether they just want to listen to the nature sounds and do the meditation themselves, or they can do a guided meditation. So
Mm.
that's when you would have, the binaural beats or whatever track that they want with a specific, guided meditation on it. And the guided meditation would be something like, focusing on breathing if they were just worried about stress, or if they were wanting to focus on a particular goal that they wanted to achieve in the next year, they would do goal focused meditation, guided meditation. Um, they could do, there's a whole lot of different things that they could do. So either if they wanted to do the meditation themselves and just be in a natural space with the natural environments, they would just specifically pick the nature sounds. Otherwise, they could add their own tracks to it, where they would do the guided meditation. And the guided meditation could be anything from 5 minutes right the way up to 15, 20 minutes, depending on what they wanted. And obviously, depending on what they wanted to achieve. Are they doing meditation for health, for stress, to achieve a goal? It could be anything. Bereavement, it could be anything, but they could pick. Yeah.
Right. So when they're doing guided meditation, because the ones that I've done, just listening to the
Mm-hmm.
audio, will be ones where my senses are enhanced.
Mm,
So the voice might say, "I'm on a beach," for
mm,
example, and the voice might say, "What are you smelling? Smell that salt air. Feel the sand between your toes. See the beautiful blue ocean. Hear the sounds of the
mm.
waves." And so are those kinds of sensory prompts on these as well?
Well, not in virtual reality, because virtual reality, you're there, you're seeing that you're on the beach. When you look down, it looks like you're on the sand. So, yes, there would be prompts in terms of look down, feel the sand underneath your feet. And because you're visually stimulated, you're visually immersed in that environment, it's probably going to feel a lot more real. Well, it depends on a person's imagination and how much they can actually see in their mind, and how good they are in terms of their own meditation. A lot of people would say, oh, yeah, look, I can do this normally anyway.
I
But some
see.
people would think, wow, there are a lot of people out there that are very, very visual, and they would get more out of this than if they weren't, that if they were to just do a normal meditation, they would be like, holy, like I can actually feel the sea breeze on my skin,
Yes.
even though it's not there. But because they're visually stimulated, they're thinking, their mind is saying you're definitely there, you're here on a beach, so they would smell it, they would see it, hear it. Yeah.
So
So
that brings me to the point then, do they pick the kind of narration they want?
yes.
Because as you said, not everybody needs those prompts.
Yeah.
Some people do. It helps to say, oh, breathe in the air, see the ocean. But if people don't need that, then can they choose their prompts?
Yes, they can, and that's kind of where it would come in terms of the tracks. So you would have tracks that would have the prompts, and you would have tracks that would not have the prompts, and that's where people can kind of tailor make their meditation
That's
specifically to
wonderful.
them. Yeah, yeah, which is really good, because you'll have people that are coming in that want to learn meditation, and you're having people who are advanced meditators who want to come in, who maybe are advanced in closed eye meditation, but they won't want to learn different forms of meditation. So it just depends.
Right. And then if they're also working with this and it doesn't suit them that well, they can pick another one,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
They can just switch.
Exactly. So they can come in, and this is the beauty of it, because if they have a whole bunch of tracks and they have a whole bunch of different environments, just like I get really excited when I go to the beach and I'm like, oh, I'm just thinking of my holiday. I'm not calming down. So I'm like, why am I not getting into my meditation? Well, that's the whole reason. So it'd be nice for me to go out of that. And if I want to maybe if I'm feeling a bit down one of the days, I would use the beach as something that's going to pick me up and make me feel like I've gone on like a mini holiday. And, that would be perfect for that. Whereas then I would know that if I'm wanting to really center myself and go into my meditation, I would use one of their environments. But that's what's beautiful about it, because you can jump in. You can literally time travel, or not time travel, like you can put yourself into different places in split seconds, which is great. So yeah.
Which is terrific. I mean, it's such a wonderful way to use this technology.
Yeah.
And also we don't think of technology and meditation. They kind of seem like they're, opposites,
No.
but in a way, it's really what's helping to bring it closer to us,
Yeah.
to bring it
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
So before we close, share a little bit more about um, the, if you will, experiments or the tests that you've done with clients in using this for meditation. And as you said, I believe it was 14 days,
Yeah. We did it for
right? And
14
10
days.
minutes a day.
Yeah, so they did it for 10 minutes a day. It was 14 days. And yeah, some of the feedback like that we got, there was one specific girl that we were working with, and I think I'd actually said this earlier on, but she was trying to balance starting up her own business. I think she was trying to get her book finished. Oh, and she was coaching. She was actually a coach as well. And she was trying to get a program done that she's been working on for the last 6 months. And she just could not, for love nor money, actually get this program sorted.
Wow.
And she came to me and she said, Jackie, I have never experienced anything like this before. So I said, well, why? Like, what happened? She goes, not only did I get my book finished, but she said, my course is finally finished. And she said, and I was like managing with the kids and all the rest of it. And she said, I could not believe, because she came to me and she said that she was very doubtful in the beginning about how this could potentially, she said, oh, yeah, maybe she was thinking it was great and it was going to de-stress her, kind of like what we had expected. But when she came back and she said, like, she said, can I buy this? Like, I just want this forever. Because if I can get this amount of work done in 14 days, can you imagine if I was doing this all the time? So I said, well, that's the beautiful thing, is because the accountability was there. They knew that they had to commit themselves for 14 days and they had to do it every single day. So I think if people commit themselves to something like that and they have that accountability and they just do the work for 10 minutes, the in terms of the results and the quantum leaps that they're going to see is phenomenal. But you know what, Patricia, that's with anything and everything. Just forget about meditation. That's with anything
Sure.
in life.
The habit,
It is. It's
right? The
100% a
habit
habit,
takes,
you know.
right?
But I was blown away
It
by
takes,
her
but I
story. And you know what? It made my heart so, like, I've got more stories to share. Like, I was so blown away that she was so happy with herself and she
think,
felt so accomplished after that, and so empowered, I suppose, because she got all of that stuff done. So yeah, no, I just thought, wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
so having said all of that,
Mm.
just truly amazing, how do people find out more about this, Jackie? Using this virtual reality for meditation to really help them be more productive and efficient in life.
Yeah. Well, if they want to find out more about kind of what we're doing, at Mind Immersion, they're very welcome to pop me an email. Now we're still working with the GIA International email, so they can reach me on Jackie JACKIE at GIA International. It's GIAH.com, and that's basically where. Otherwise, just go onto social media and even do some comments from the podcast. Like I know that you can do comments in that below and just say, look, reach out to us and, pop in your emails and, we can get in touch and help people through like that. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jackie. I'm Patricia Raskin, and I've been here co hosting with Jackie Carroll, founder of Mind Immersion, a virtual reality platform which helps you step into the best version of yourself. And today on the podcast, Finding Your Genie, we've been talking about how to reach your goals and have the life you want with Jackie Carroll. Thanks so much, Jackie, again.
Thanks, Patricia. We'll see you guys next time. Ladies and gents, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, got value, and had an aha moment and think this might do the same for someone else, then please do share it with others. Post about it on social media or just leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram at Genie in a Headset and on Facebook at Gia, Giah International. And for all my YouTube subscribers, don't forget to hit that bell. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on Finding Your Genie.